Ohio State just got done pummeling Michigan State 56-7. Spartans are pretty good this year, but the playoff committee says Michigan's even better. That's why they've been ranking Michigan ahead of them the last couple weeks. That's who Ohio State plays on Saturday in the game. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com, along with Stephen Means and Doug Lesmerises. So what did this game today tell us? Is Ohio State prepared to take on the Michigan Challenge? Doug?
You know, it's funny because, like, for instance, in 2018, Ohio State almost lost the week before Michigan. They should have lost at Maryland. And then it was like, and then Michigan was favored in that game, and then Ohio State blew them up. So am I going to start off the video and say, is Ohio State going to be overconfident against Michigan because they took apart Michigan State on Saturday? It feels like this was their most complete game on both sides of the ball. And I think it was almost more important for the defense than it was the offense, because the way Michigan runs the ball, Cade McNamara had a good passing game in the Michigan State game a couple weeks ago. You know, they have some guys. And so I think what they did to Kenneth Walker III is helpful for them as they prepare to try to stop Hassan Haskins and whether Blake Corum plays next week for Michigan. Like, Michigan runs the ball, Michigan State runs the ball, and Michigan State could not run the ball against Ohio State. So I thought almost defensively that's what they needed to do.
We're recording this, by the way, before Michigan plays Maryland, or as Michigan is playing Maryland, so we don't know how that game's going to turn out. Ohio State could have the Big Ten East clinched by the time where you guys watch this video, I suppose, or by the time that game's over. Here's why I think it's an interesting parallel, because I've been the one that's kind of been banging the drum all along for, hey, do we know how good this Ohio State defense really is? We need to see the challenge against Michigan State. And Walker touched the ball like 6 times in the first half. He was a non-factor in this game, but not really because of Ohio State's defense, although Ohio State's defense played well, but because of this offense. This offense takes a great running back kind of out of the game when you're up 21-0, when you're up 28-0. The defense plays into that. The defense was forcing 3 and out and giving that offense the ball back, and it was scoring. I'm not taking the credit away from the defense, but it's the explosiveness of this offense that may, when it's rolling like this, that may make a team like Michigan, the way Michigan State had the problem today too. Like, when you're run-based, I don't know what you do about that at some point. You're not going to, like, grind your way back into a game when you're getting crushed 28-0. It'll be on the road. Michigan, like you said, Doug, they did have kind of more of a dual threat success against Michigan State a couple weeks ago in a game that Michigan State won. So we'll see how that goes. But, Stephen, what did today tell you about how prepared Ohio State is to play the game?
Michigan State had 66 rushing yards. Kenneth Walker had 25 of them. As you said, that was on 6 carries. The 25 yards came on 2 carries. And then he had a 10-yard run that got called back because of a holding penalty. I agree with everything you said, and I also noticed – I said it in the preview pod that Michigan State can't turn the ball over. Don't help Ohio State's offense do what it wants to do to you anyway. And what did they do? They turned the ball over. They put the ball on the floor, and Ohio State took advantage of it, and they scored some more. So you have Michigan, who is a run, live and die by the run. So that's already a disadvantage for Michigan. Ohio State's offense is going to score. So the question once again is, can Michigan play clock control? Can it not turn the ball over? And I'm not sure that anybody can do that, because all this defense has to do is cause a turnover here and there and do enough of just like keeping guys contained, and this offense is going to do what we saw this week. So at this point, I'm under the gaze of, at some point in that game, Ohio State's going to cause a turnover, and then the offense is going to take advantage of that, and that's game.
These games can be hard to talk and write about sometimes because we don't want to sound like homers and like sycophants, like we're coming over the top. But when Ohio State's offense plays like this, an opponent's offense has to play perfect, and I don't know that that's good enough sometimes, even when they play like their version of perfect. When the offense for Ohio State is clicking like this, you're really taking kind of the ball out of the other team's hands in some ways. Get the text, 614-350-3315. A 2-week free trial starting now would take you through the Big Ten Championship game. What do you got to lose? Jump on board. We'll see if Ohio State gets there next week against Michigan.